Recent unrest in Gaza has seen a sharp rise in global anti-Semitic incidents, according to Lord Mark Malloch-Brown. Speaking at a conference of parliamentarians from 35 countries, he said he was saddened by the continuing need for discussions, which should no longer be necessary after the history of the 21st century.
Everybody on all sides of this argument seems to have huge difficulty in separating Israel, the state, and its political agenda from the broader issue of Jews living here or elsewhere. And it is that merger of the two, that sort of symbiotic relationship, which has, in a sense, keeps on flaring up the embers of what one would otherwise hope would have been a cold and dead piece of history of which we could all be ashamed, but from which we would move on.
He encouraged delegates to share experiences, best practices and ideas to come up with concrete solutions for moving forward, something to which the UK remains fully committed.
We have tried here in this country to really tackle this thing at its roots, and we've taken a number of measures. I commend the excellent report of the all-party parliamentary inquiry to anti-Semitism, which was commissioned by John and published in 2006. And out of that came measures which include honouring the victims of the Holocaust, including through a Holocaust Memorial Day, supporting the International Task Force for Education, Remembrance and Research to help educate young people around the world about the destructiveness of hate, working through our embassies worldwide to support overseas parliamentary colleagues, including many of you here, in your work to tackle anti-Semitism in your home countries, supporting the commendable work of the EU, the OSCE and the Council of Europe, including support for the personal representative of the OSCE chairman in office on combating anti-terrorism.
He said it was vital to avoid repeating the 2001 Durban conference, which he criticised for its poor handling of issues surrounding Israel.
We sought to coordinate very closely with the new administration in Washington, and the US indicated yesterday that it was going to engage in the Durban process. And we will work with the US to try and make sure that we get a good outcome. But we are extremely clear, if we cannot get a fair and balanced outcome, we will withdraw.
Tackling anti-Semitism was fundamentally a political task, he said, with the politics of the Middle East being a key focus.
We've got to ensure, and there are, in this room I'm sure you could find totally different views of Israel's foreign policy, and the point really is that we've got to look at these as utterly separate issues. Israel has, as a nation-state, an absolute right to do what it believes is its best strategy of self-defense, and it's an absolute right of others to tell them that we think it's not the right strategy and that there is a much better way to secure peace with its neighbours. But that's the debate between states, which is a perfectly legitimate one for us to have, and we have it with dozens of other states every day of the year. And we've got to separate that debate about politics and national interests from this much more insidious and deeper and utterly unacceptable cultural ill that still infects our societies.
Lord Malloch-Brown concluded by inviting delegates to sign the London Declaration for Combating Anti-Semitism, which outlines the recommendations of the UK's parliamentary inquiry.